What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're talking House of the Dragon Season 3, Episode number 3. This is going to be my review. I'm going to share my thoughts. I think it goes without saying, a lot of my own opinions. I would love to hear from you all. Like, what are you speculating? What do you think about the episode? What was running through your mind through the episode? And we're going to talk, like, predictions, what's to come, what we think's to come. So let's get right into it. I think it goes without saying in this episode that this episode was heavily focused on Rhaenyra. Like, we didn't see Aemond or Aegon like at all. Daemon was in it, but you know, bits and pieces here and there. Like, they focused on Rhaenyra quite a bit. You could really start to see that the weight of the crown was holding her down, if you will. Like, that burden was weighing her down. I find it fascinating watching her try to find this balance between compassion and mercy. Like, she is really big on that, and what seems like the ruthlessness that it takes to actually sit on the Iron Throne. Like, you have to instill fear in the subjects, and Rhaenyra in this episode, you could really start to see her finding, I mean, at the end of episode 2, because when she killed Otto, I think this bleeds into it, but you're really starting to see Rhaenyra try to find that balance, if there even is one. And I find it fascinating because I really like that what they're doing with her in that regard, because you know, some of the shots they show of her face and some of the things they have her doing, like feeding the common folk with the food from the higher lords and noblemen, like that was awesome. Like, that was such a dope scene, like her serving them the fucking rats. Like, that's kind of what I mean when I say like the ruthless nature of it, because no matter what, you're gonna piss somebody off, right? And she's trying to figure out like where that lives inside of her, like who is she gonna piss off and who she's not. And that was just such a cool fucking scene. For her to give that back to the common folk was really cool. It felt like one of those mic drop type of moments, but Westerosi style. That was really cool to see. Not just the Iron, like, I mean, it's what they're doing with Rhaenyra is fascinating, because it's not just the Iron Throne weighing her down. You can really start to see, like, I think Tessarion even points out to her, like, her grief is weighing on her. And she even says, I don't feel anything right now. That was interesting, because you can see there's more weighing her down than just the throne itself. Like, the throne seems to be more of the physical manifestation of the grief of her children and the betrayal that she's starting to feel from the people that feel loyal to her. Like, she even says in the episode, right, that she is not bringing her small council to King's Landing because she doesn't, and I forget the exact word she uses, but she essentially implies that she doesn't trust them.
Do you take issue with me, Sir Alfred?
So there's them, you know, there's what Chase did to them. Like, that's her son. And she was feeling that. She was grieving his loss, sure, but she was still feeling the betrayal that came from him locking her in a room. And then this whole scene with Lord Corlys, because she wasn't going to give Adam and Alan Corlys's name. Like, that was such a crazy scene. It caught me by surprise. In the book, she feels the betrayal by Corlys like that, but it's not, he doesn't like blatantly call her the fuck out like that. And because like this, like the way they have him call her children bastards.
Her children are bastards!
Like, it wasn't just like, in the book it was like he could have betrayed her, he could not have. In this, it's just like they're making it fucking obvious that she is going to feel betrayed by Lord Corlys. Like, it's not going to be a speculative thing. You know, if you put yourself in Rhaenyra's shoes and like he attacks her like that, whether it's true or not is a topic for a different day. She feels that threat, right? Now she's going to feel that betrayal, ruminate more and more. Now she's like, she doesn't know who to trust. So like, that was the big theme in the book with Rhaenyra. But like, what they're doing in the show, I'm getting the chills. What they're doing in the show is like, it's articulating the betrayal she's feeling in such a way where it's obvious. Like, you cannot not see it, you know? Because again, there was Chase, now Lord Corlys, and I'm curious to see, they don't really get into it, but like, you could see she was caught off guard by that blonde-haired boy, the silver-haired boy, not being Daeron. And so she's going to feel a type of betrayal from Ormond. But like, that is like, you know, that's war. So that can easily be explained away. What I'm curious about is if they tie that into Rhaenyra feeling betrayed by Daemon. I think they're going to make some kind of minor connection there. Like, the thing that really baffled me was, okay, Ormond, well, he clearly played them, right? But, like, he surrendered over to Daemon, put his sword down, bent the knee, and then handed over Daeron. Why? I can't imagine a world where Daemon would let Tessarion, the Blue Queen, Daeron's dragon, I can't imagine a world where he would let the dragon go with Ormond Hightower and his forces. That made no sense to me. Now, clearly, towards the end of the episode, we started to see that it came full circle because they took Tumbleton. But Daemon's a skilled warrior. He's seen war. Why on earth would he let that happen? I think they did that so they can set up the escalation of Rhaenyra feeling betrayed by Daemon.
Have you not betrayed your queen?
I think what might happen is she's going to feel that betrayal, and she's going to start to think, because betrayal's happening all around her, that Daemon is gunning for the throne. That's like one of my big predictions, because like it just doesn't make any sense. Why would Daemon let Tessarion, the Blue Queen, the dragon, not the kid, why would he let the dragon go? That made no sense. So I think that's the thing. With the whole scene with Lord Corlys calling Chase and Luke
Bastards!
you know, in the books, Rhaenyra eventually takes Lord Corlys prisoner. It happens later, and it feels like they are kind of compressing some of these key events, which does make sense for television purposes, but they're starting to condense it. So she does hold Lord Corlys prisoner, but in this episode, they didn't imply it. So I think what's going to end up happening, if she hasn't already, she's going to capture Lord Corlys. And that if him calling Luke and Chase
Bastards!
wasn't the thing that causes her to imprison Lord Corlys, the next thing he does is probably going to do it. And again, just to come back to my one point, like you're just seeing the seeds of betrayal. How do I want to phrase this? You're seeing them start to manifest more and more. Everybody around her is starting to betray her in some capacity or another. And I'm not saying this like it's like from the character Rhaenyra's perspective. One of the other things I find fascinating that they've been doing in the show, and I'm assuming they'll continue to do, is this relationship between Alicent and Rhaenyra. It is, I think it's safe to say it's significantly different than it is in the books. And I don't think it's a bad thing. It's actually kind of fascinating and adds a unique dynamic that it makes it a little bit unpredictable. Like, I can't really tell because they still seem friendly. There's still that sense of kinship between the two of them that it's really hard to tell what Rhaenyra is actually going to do with them. Because they're actually, like, Rhaenyra seems to still trust Alicent to a certain degree. And I find that absolutely fascinating. I would love to hear what you all think. Like, where do you think they may be going with their relationship with Alicent and Rhaenyra? I can't really tell right now, but it is a unique dynamic that I think adds a spice to the show that I can't even pinpoint, like, an idea of where I think they're going with it. And I'm gonna start to wrap it up here because, like, you know, that's just kind of where I'm at with everything. Some of my predictions, though, I've kind of hint at it already. Like, I think Rhaenyra is the big one. Rhaenyra is gonna start to feel a betrayal from Daemon, and I think what the situation with Daemon and Ormond and leaving the Blue Queen, the dragon, to Tessarion with Ormond's forces, that was like the first domino in the ripple effects to come of Rhaenyra feeling Daemon's betrayal. I think what happens next, I shared it in my last video on episode 2's review, is because Daemon was sent to the Vale, I think what's going to happen is he's going to, because I'm almost positive in the books he never goes to the Vale. Not directly. So I think what they're setting up is he's going to go to the Vale. He's going to run into Rhaena and Sheepstealer. And he'll probably, like, at first send a raven to Rhaenyra. Like, hey, I'm like they're texting. Hey, I found Rhaena. I found Sheepstealer. It's actually Rhaena. It's not the Green's dragon. Rhaenyra is then going to want Rhaena for the death of Chase. And Daemon's going to send her away to Essos, like he does with Nettles in the book. And that's going to be like the nail in the coffin for Daemon and Rhaenyra. I think that's what's going to put the nail in the coffin for Rhaenyra no longer trusting Daemon. And then it's done. But at that point, the book gets into something else, which I won't get too spoilery for now. Assuming they stay faithful to that, I won't get too spoilery. I'll leave it there. My last big prediction is, I don't know, the upcoming trailer for next week's episode, it seemed like they were setting up the first Battle of Tumbleton, but like my initial prediction was going to be that the next episode would be the Battle of Tumbleton. After seeing that trailer, there's a question mark around that, because I feel like if there wasn't gonna be a battle, they would have showed battle scenes. So obviously they're setting up the Battle of Tumbleton. That was pretty obvious. But if not the next episode, the episode after that, the Battle of Tumbleton will take place. And Yeah, I mean, I guess the big prediction is Daemon and Rhaenyra. They're starting to plant the seeds for Rhaenyra feeling Daemon's betrayal, and I think that's like the big one. She's feeling betrayal all around her, but that's going to be the big one. And I'm really curious to see what to do with Mysaria. Like, I like her story arc, like her rise to power, if you will. And I like the role she's playing in Rhaenyra's like small council. I'm really curious to see what they do with her, but that's it. That's all, y'all. That's what I got for today's video. Those are my thoughts. Those are my opinions, my predictions for what's to come. I'm really curious to hear what you all have to say. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. And I don't know, I want to hear what you have to say. Why do you think Daemon let Tessarion go? I legit can't think of a logical explanation as to why the character Daemon would let Tessarion, Daeron's dragon, why he would let that dragon go. That made absolutely no sense. Unless we chalk it up to him just being like forgetful, I can't think of anything. So I would love to hear from you all. What do you think? Why did Daemon let the dragon go? It's blowing my mind hole, and I'm open to hearing what you have to say. All right, that's it. That's all, y'all. Peace out.